What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Alliance Blog podcast presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance and the United Wrestling Network. My name is Jay Cal, and I'm excited because I get to talk to two up-and-coming tag team wrestlers. Now, this is the first time for your boy Jay to have two guests at the same time, so we're going to play it by ear. We're going to try things out. We're going to see if we can make magic happen, but without any further ado, Dash and Vince. Well, where'd you guys go? Oh, it's my fault. It's always my fault. What's up, guys?
Hey there.
Whoa. One more time. There
we go.
What's up, guys? How you doing today?
It's like dramatic. It was like 1 and 2. Ta-da!
And then it pushed you out. So, hey, first of all, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on today.
Of course.
This is my first time getting to speak to you guys. Obviously, I'm in Southern California, but you guys are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, correct?
That is correct.
Yes.
You both live in Dallas or around the area, I should say?
Yeah, we live around the area. Texas is so big, man. There are very few people that train at our academy in Haltom. Actually, Fort Worth is like, there's so many sub areas and different, like, you take a turn and you're in a completely new place. It's like we call it the Dal-Worthington. It's the Metroplex. We have Dallas and Fort Worth and Arlington. We train at the academy in Haltom. So a lot of us, very few of us actually live in Fort Worth. So it is a drive. It's a commitment to get there twice a week, sometimes 4 times a week. But we all do it, man.
I've been to Texas a handful of times. I went actually a couple of years ago. I was out there in Forney for the Crockett Cup, the NWA Crockett Cup annual tag team tournament they did out there at the OC Theater in Forney, which I know that's a drive from Fort Worth. And of course, I have friends that live out in Fort Worth. Our mutual friend DKM and a few other friends that live out in that area too. So. And I've been out there and it's huge, man. It's nothing small in Texas, and all the roads are under construction and people are moving there left and right. And but Buc-ee's is cool. I like Buc-ee's.
I would say like Buc-ee's has become a rite of passage for so many independent wrestlers, if you know what I mean. Like you hear all these stories about wrestlers going to Japan and going to Bear Steakhouse and getting their like satin jackets, and I feel like Buc-ee's is going to be that for a lot of international stars coming in. I see wrestlers from Japan coming over here and taking pictures at Waffle House, and it's just they're totally normal things to us, but it's so funny to see how that can become like an attraction.
You got to stop by and see that beaver.
And touch the beaver, which sounds very inappropriate, but hey, it's not necessarily a family show. The other question I have for you guys, just because you're from Texas and I'm from California, tell me your thoughts on the In-N-Out that you guys have out there. Have you guys checked out In-N-Out? I know it's food, but I'm a big hamburger guy.
I love it personally. I was a big Whataburger guy, and I still love me some Whataburger, but being on the road so much, I'm getting a little burnt out on it. And I had a first In-N-Out burger a few months ago, and yeah, I can see what the deal is. I really like it. I can put down 2 double-doubles easily.
You got to get it animal style, man. You got to get those animal style fries. I mean,
you guys know. You guys know.
It's phenomenal. I mean, I went there the first time I went there. I got like just a standard hamburger because I had no idea what I was doing. It's just like, okay, there's 3 items on the menu, and they just like slammed my burger with onions, and it was so crispy, and I was just like, whoa, this is unlike anything.
So let me give you my order, and the next time you go, just try it. Just try it one time. So I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm carb conscious here. So I'll get a protein wrap, which means I wrap it in lettuce. I do 3x1, so 3 beef patties, 1 slice of cheese, because I'm trying to watch those fats. Get the grilled onions, add pickle, fried in mustard, and mustard spread.
You gotta get those grilled onions, man. They're so good. There's one of our fellow graduates, Elijah Anaconda Cortez. He actually, I didn't even know that was an option, but I think he was the first one I saw do that with the vegetarian, I guess, friendly option with the Yeah.
Well, it's the carb thing, like, because I mean, if you're eating meat, you're not really getting.
I was thinking the same thing.
But I do. But if you wanted to, and that's the great thing about In-N-Out, because the menu is very simple. But like, this isn't In-N-Out podcasting here, but we got to spend a second on it. You get a grilled cheese sandwich if you want one. They will literally make you a grilled cheese there. You can get all veggies and no meat if you would choose that. I mean, not for me, but other people have. And then the whole animal style thing is it's huge. My family loves it. I'm not a big fan of the spread. I just never have been, but I mean, it's good, but I just I don't typically like that kind of spread on anything. So I try to avoid.
Vinegary tasting, I guess, is a good way to describe it.
Yeah. And like some people say it's similar to the Big Mac sauce, and I don't like that either. So it's just my part about, okay, let's talk about wrestling, because that's why people are tuning in today. That's why people are here. Are in the
food.
Well, now I'm hungry, and that's why I think I'm going to In-N-Out, so I will apologize. Today's Cinco de Mayo. How are you guys celebrating?
I'm celebrating it by living vicariously through all of my luchador friends. Shout out to all the guys at the Academy. I hope they're having a great Cinco de Mayo. And a happy May the 4th to all of our Star Wars fans out there.
Oh, yeah.
Revenge of the Sith now. Oh, it is. Oh, my gosh. I've got brain, bro. I can't keep track of my days. I've got so many numbers up there.
That's a good thing and a bad thing. Vince, are you doing anything to celebrate today's Cinco de Mayo?
No, not particularly. I should get me some tacos. I did see online this is like the first time Cinco de Mayo landed on a Tuesday for like Taco Tuesday. Like, the stars are aligning.
Everything is just coming up Mexican food, so enjoy.
No drinks. Tequila.
Yeah. Tequila.
Oh, yeah, I definitely need a margarita tonight.
There you go. So, gentlemen, again, no more food talk, I promise. We're going to only talk about wrestling now. The journey from being somebody who enjoys pro wrestling to actually stepping inside the ring is a very audacious journey. It's not meant for the weak of heart. You've got a lot of people who love pro wrestling. Some of us even take it a step further and have websites or podcasts and live stream and talk about wrestling for hours on end. But then there's your level, because you take your fandom and say, you know what, that looks like it's fun. I'm going to try to do this. And that becomes a part of your personality now. Like, you take that next step into becoming a pro wrestler. And so my first question is, and I'm going to ask one at a time. So Vince, we'll go with you first. What age did you start watching pro wrestling, and what made you become a fan of pro wrestling?
Let's see. Age, I haven't thought about that. I was definitely like in middle school, like the Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Mankind. I think I was like maybe 14, but it was something. I fell in love with it as soon as I watched it. I think I just stumbled upon it. Like, I was just flipping through the channels one day, and it's like, oh, what is this? Oh, this is amazing. And I just got hooked from there.
So the Attitude Era, that's post WCW. So,
no, they were still going on. So there was still the Monday Night Wars going on when I first started. I was definitely a WWF guy at the time. And I wish I didn't choose sides. I wish I watched both products at the time. I had the time. But no, right. I was like, no, screw WCW. I'm a WWF guy.
We had in my circle of friends, we had both, right? So like, we had the guys like, screw WCW, the other guys like, well, screw WWE. And every Monday night, and I'm a little bit older than you guys. I was already in college. I had my buddies coming over to the house, and we would literally make it a whole thing. So especially on the West Coast, we would get TNT on the East Coast time. It was the straight same if you were watching it in New York as you would in California, same time. So we were watching Nitro 3 hours earlier than watching all of Raw completely uninterrupted. And then the replay, so whatever we missed, we'd watch it again. And then we topped that off with some No Mercy on the Nintendo 64.
Of course.
Dash, how did you get into pro wrestling, and who were some of your favorites when you started watching wrestling?
So it's funny that you mentioned No Mercy, because I remember distinctly being on the school bus probably around 2007 and seeing a kid on my school bus playing like Back versus Raw on their PS. And I was like kind of peeking over the seat think they were. I can distinctly remember they were playing Rey Mysterio, and they were in like the off the production trucks, and I was like, "What? What is this?" I was like, "This isn't pro wrestling, is it?" Because I had thought wrestling was like we're gonna lock up and roll around in our underwear, but this was like totally shocking to me. And I think I had maybe like flipped through the channels once or twice growing up and saw Hogan and the Giant and WCW, because I was born in '95, so it would have been right around the time I was like 4 or 5 years old when WWE acquired WCW. And yeah, so the video game turned me on to WWE, and I was like, how can I watch it? SmackDown had local on local network TV, and Jeff Hardy was my guy, man. Like immediately, Jeff Hardy was the one who I was missing something. Like I didn't know how to fit in with anyone. My personality was like I was still trying to put all the puzzles together, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And then I saw this guy wearing Dickies and a black muscle shirt with colored hair, and he didn't look like a prototypical wrestler. And I was just like, he's throwing himself off of the top rope to the adulation of all of these people and killing himself, and it worked, and like inspired. So that was the first time that I really got into wrestling, and that went on the rest of it.
I'm gonna move the cameras a bit because I feel weird that I'm on top here and this is your guys' interview. So
no.
Let
me talk to you guys up here.
I don't work from underneath, brother.
But you guys are the tag team. You guys should be next to each other. But it's the first time I've interviewed a tag team, so I want to make it look good. So you both pretty at a young age. I mean, Vince, you sound like you're more like in like middle school or maybe even junior or high school, and Dash, you were also like what you said, like elementary school.
Yeah.
And so now that you're both older, obviously, and you've went through the process of training for pro wrestling, did you guys ever go back and watch the older stuff? Because I mean, Texas has been known for its style of wrestling. With the Von Erich family meant so much to especially the Dallas area and all the pro wrestling that had happened in that area with the Sportatorium and everything else. Have you guys both been able to check that out and, looking at it from an older set of eyes, a trained set of eyes? Have you, is that something that you guys have done? And Dash, like what did you watch any of the Sportatorium stuff, or do you still watch any of the Sportatorium stuff?
Yeah, my grandparents actually, I believe that my grandfather, he actually went to the Sportatorium to watch the Von Erichs and the Freebirds with my grandmother's father. So they saw it live. And Sportatorium was huge back in the day. Like, even if you're not a wrestling fan, and you have, like, you're around older people, you're around your family, you hear those conversations, especially, like, in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, and you hear about the crazy, like, fines that would be outside, like, in the street. They'd be all the way down the road. It's like seeing Star Wars for the first time. It's like people couldn't wait to get in to see what it was about. And there's so much you can learn from going back and watching World Class, because it was one of the first territories that was like very heavy on character, very gimmick driven, a lot of really outlandish storyline. Back then, wrestling was a little more like, I guess best way to describe it is like rough and tumble, bruisers and quality. It was way more physical. And the Von Erich just had this charisma, and Freebirds brought in so many eyes into Texas. And to this day, we train with people and have, had interacted with people whose family has trained the Von Erichs or trained the Freebirds. It was way back in the days, man. Like, there's a pedigree in Texas that has endured thick and thin through all of the highs and lows of Texas wrestling scene. It's been just sticking and going for a long time.
Vince, same question to you. Like Sportatorium, have you gone back and watched those matches? Does anything stick out when you watch them, if you've watched them?
I haven't watched too many of them. I've been trying to, do my tape study, trying to, see like how they did things back then. I definitely try to do a deep dive onto the Von Erichs and see how they worked and whatnot. But I haven't watched too much of it, but I definitely respect it. I've definitely heard legends and tales about it. But no, that's definitely on the to do watch list is some Sportatorium stuff from back then.
Now, the decision to become a pro wrestler, I hear from all sides. Like I hear where the family absolutely hates the idea, and they think you're crazy for pursuing this dream, this passion, this lust for pro wrestling. And then some families are like, hell yeah, we're going to be at every single show. And it like, I don't think there's a single story that's exactly the same, but Vince, what was your story like when you told your parents, hey, you know what, I think I want to try this pro wrestling, or is that a conversation you even had about the idea of getting into pro wrestling?
So I didn't really have that conversation. I just kind of did it. It's always been like a childhood dream of mine since I was a kid. I guess to go back real quick, and then I'll jump back to the question. Totally had that South Park episode about pro wrestling moment to where I told my mom about it, and she was trying to do her best, and she's like, fine, I'll go find a wrestling school. And I'm like, we go there, and everybody's in leotards and has the headgear on. I'm like, this isn't pro wrestling. What's this? It was like Greco-Roman wrestling, collegiate wrestling. So yeah, I put it on the back burner for a while, and then eventually I got really into shape, lost 50 pounds, and then I was just in the best shape I've ever been. I was like, well, if I'm going to give this a try, like, now's the time. So I did a quick Google search, found DFW All Pro, and went to a tryout and made the team. But yeah, I didn't actually tell anybody I was doing that. I just kind of did it. My family's all on board now. Like they loved it from the get-go. It did cause some relationship issues just because I did not realize how much of a time endeavor it would be. Right. And also like how much money it would cost and everything. I just kind of dove in head first. I was like, we're doing this. And I'm keeping it up. I'm just going. Don't plan on stopping anytime soon. But yeah, the family loved it.
Ironically enough, when I was a kid and I got into high school, I was like, I'm going to go out for wrestling. I'm going to do that too. And I was like, well, where's the ring? And it was just Matt.
Exactly.
That's not what this is. Oh, okay. And Dash, what was your experience when you just decided to make that decision to train to be a pro wrestler? Did you have family supporting you, or did you kind of go rogue like Vince and just do it?
Yeah, I've heard so many people say that about I went to amateur wrestling and I thought it was pro wrestling. And it's like, I've wanted it for a long time. It was an aspiration that I've had since almost the inception of my fandom. I was like, Jeff Hardy is in the ring doing it. I've decided that's what I'm going to do when I grow up. And you get those remarks in school and people always teasing you and stuff and being like, well, you're too small. You really need to seriously reconsider if that's a serious career path you want to take in life. And my route was a little unconventional. I wish I would have started a lot sooner, earlier in my life. I'm 30 years old. I think that's me and Vince both have in common is we actually started a little later in our lives. My story, and it's my story to tell. I had a lot of setbacks and a lot of battles with my physical health and things of that nature. When I finally was get on my own 2 feet, and I was able to actually pursue pro wrestling seriously, I had looked into Metroplex wrestling and I had looked into places, and I ultimately decided that DFW All Pro was the place that I needed to be because of the affiliation with VIP and Lou Gotti, Alejandro Quintanilla. Those are huge names in Texas. And I thought, okay, well, that's something that I feel like that style would suit me. And DFW All Pro is so great about that because they don't turn away anyone. Anyone who comes to their doors, no matter how old you are, no matter how big or small you are. I was a little bit heavier myself. I was pushing 200 pounds. And over the course of my training, I got in the best shape of my life, man. And I wanted it. I wanted it so badly. So even at 28 years old, when I started training, they saw how badly I wanted it. And it wasn't a matter of if I was capable of doing it or not. It was a matter of knowing that I believed in myself that I wanted to do it.
And when you guys started training, and I'll have you answer first, Ash. When you guys started training, was the idea initially did you guys know each other before you started training together? And did the pairing just kind of happen organically, or did they suggest, hey, maybe you guys might make a good tag team?
So yeah, I'll kind of like come back to that because the tag team thing, we all were like individual competitors when we started, and we all have that chemistry and that brotherhood because we all train together. So we see each other. Sometimes we see each other more than we see our own family, like 2 to 3 to 4 times a week. So we get to know each other so well. And actually, Vince was an advanced student. Not to reveal too much about the structure of DFW All Pro, but we have so many students and so many graduates that it's virtually impossible to train everybody on one. We have to break it up over the course of 7 days. The way that it's structured, he was training with the board of students on Tuesdays and Thursdays, while I was training with the beginner student on Mondays. And so I actually, fast forward to both graduates now, I reached out to them at HWP, and they were like, hey, I really like what y'all are doing. I've been following, International Hero for a long time, and I was like, I want to see what that's about and like be a part of that. Particularly like that style. I'm so going to be having a show pretty soon. And he asked me, he was like, well, are there any people that you can tag team with tag teams? And I was spoiled for choices because there's so many of those guys there at DFW All Pro that we have chemistry with, and we know each other so well. We travel with each other, but the only option I can think of is this guy. We met each other so early on because we both went to a seminar together. That was one of the only times we could really have an official introduction with each other, to know each other, because we trained on different days. We those at DFW All Pro shows and be like, happening. It was really he never would say that he's a leader, and I think that's what makes him such a natural leader, is that he kind of took a lot of his follow his lead on things. He made that transition a lot easier.
Your phone is kind of breaking up a little bit, Dash. I get the gist of what you're saying, but I don't even know if there's anything you can do for it. But it just letting you know you're breaking up a little bit. So Vince, the Dash reaches out to you to start teaming together as a tag team. What's your first thought? Did that hint, everyone has a plan when they get into the business. Everyone has a direction and a vision that they are looking at. Did that align with your vision initially?
Of course, I'm just down to wrestle to begin with, but I've always kind of seen myself as a single combatant, wrestler. But I've been doing a lot of tag team stuff lately. I've been getting a tease for it lately. I've been part of a good number of tag teams here recently. Found another party guy at Neo Pro Wrestling in Houston. I think we might be doing something together. That I just got done doing something with Rob Morris, the Party Boys, in League of Lions. Me and this other guy named Mac Ray, we were supposed to be ND 2020. So yeah, I've been doing some tag teaming here or there. I guess I was trying to find the tag team partner. I think me and Dash have some good chemistry. Like you said, we met at the Mike Quackenbush seminar. That was like the first time we locked up and kind of did some stuff together. The chemistry was there. Yeah, of course, seeing each other at shows and hanging out there. But we first kind of tag team together was at this rave show. That was wild. Like the legitimate rave was going on around the ring, house music playing during the match and lights and everything. And yeah, it worked. And we're like, okay, I think there could be something here. And yeah, we're just taking the ball and running with it now.
Believe it or not, the very first time I ever saw a New Japan Pro Wrestling show live, they brought a show to California, and they did it at the Hollywood Athletic Club. Now, they didn't have the rave lights, but it was like that house music throughout the entire event. And it was
cool.
It was weird watching Bryan Danielson in the ring, and then you're hearing scene here. But I guess it worked then too. So it's got a cool that's rave and wrestling. I guess it works, right? You were there too, Dash? You were at the Raven Wrestling?
Yeah, it was really overwhelming because of the loud music. It was dark, and I mean, I think that's when it all clicked. 'Cause the IHWE thing came together, and then people, like, before we even had a tag team match, people were like, "You two are a good fit." So our buddy Rob, shout out to him. He just got a CZW booking, so doing that, really exciting. Came through for us and was like, "Y'all want to do this like wrestling race?" I had been following it for a few months, and I was like, but I think tag team event got through it. The loud music and the lights, like it worked so well.
It's a wild story. Like, it just, thinking about a rave in wrestling, like, maybe it's because I'm too old school. Maybe it's just because I'm too old, right? But I don't know if I could get into that. Good crowd reactions.
The crowd was wild. Like, they were all there for it. They did take some intermissions, a little bit more than the normal wrestling show to, I guess, dance and party and whatnot. Sure. But it was, they were all for it. They were like right up on the ring. That was a little different. Usually there's kind of a space like security barricades and stuff, but no, they were like right there on the ring. I would see something coming. I'm like, oh no, you guys need to move. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's not my normal cup of tea, but I mean, we just fit that environment really well. And also, they had black lights. We have like neon green colors that like would glow.
Or it was like we had a home field advantage. Like,
really,
we fit in like the nightclub scene. Just our character and our outfits and everything. And then we hit this really crazy tag team move that like kind of. Probably the most moment I've had.
I imagine the visuals would be pretty cool though, with all the people up against the ring. Like, you don't ever see that in pro wrestling, and it always feels very underground when you do see shows like that. So I bet visually it probably looked pretty awesome.
Literally, they were touching my hand and they were holding my hand. This isn't legal.
Excuse me, I got to get back in the ring now. Apologies.
Right. No, I was in the ring. They were reaching. I was crawling towards them.
Amazing. So the journey from student to graduate, you guys have started wrestling out on the independents. How long and I'll ask you first, Dash, how long have you been out of training since you've graduated, and how many years have you been wrestling as an independent wrestler?
So I actually started my training at DFW All Pro in August of 2024, and I officially debuted in September of last year, and then finally went on to December. So I'm very, very green. I've only been in the business for about, I would say, this will be like officially 5 months. Coming up pretty soon.
Has it been everything you anticipated?
Yeah, absolutely. I expected it to be a lot more difficult for me to kind of get out there and get bookings and stuff like that. But honestly, the transition from a student to a graduate and taking bookings has been actually super simple for me. I have a really good support system. I mentioned Rob earlier. Vince obviously is like a huge help. A lot of road trips, been all over the state. I mean, we've been everywhere in a very short time.
How far east have you guys gone, or south, or whichever direction?
We went to almost Oklahoma. That was the farthest. We went to Texarkana, like right there on the border.
That's cool. What about you, Vince? How long have you been at it as a professional? And, is this everything that you were expecting it to be?
So as Coach would say, training is forever. So I'm still currently training and learning. That never ends. But I've been at this, I think, a total of 3 years. I graduated February of 2025. class of February 2024. So yeah, about a year, almost a year and a half, pro, doing this, and it has been everything I've wanted to be. Yeah, the bookings were hard at first. I'll be honest. Trying to get that ball rolling, but the ball is rolling now, and it's rolling pretty fast, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And as far as I've gone, like I've wrestled in Arkansas in a tiny town of, I want to call it Fork, but that's not how you pronounce it. Fourke. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that was fun for Hype and Glory. I'm trying to get some bookings in Kansas. I have a lot of family in Kansas. I would like to wrestle there, so I can show my nieces and nephews how cool their uncle is.
Yeah, that's good stuff. As a fan of wrestling, and I'm out here in Southern California, and we have indies out here. There's shows happening every weekend up and down the coast, as low as San Diego, as north all the way up in San Francisco, San Jose. And in Texas is a way bigger state. I understand, our guys try from San Diego to LA, and it's like, oh man, that's a 2-hour drive. And I'm like, man, that's easy. That's easy. There, Houston to Dallas is like an 8-hour drive, I think, or maybe even longer. And then San Antonio, and I think of all the hot spots that I know of from Texas, and as a fan of the NWA, I'm familiar with a lot of the spots out there, like Dog Pound Championship Wrestling in San Jose, and excuse me, not San Jose, San Antonio, and then Reality Wrestling down in Booker T's school in Houston, and those are just, and then of course the NWA Texas group in Forney, Texas. Those are just a few of the promotions, and I know like nothing's really close. The whole being on the road and being on the grind. You guys are still in Texas and starting to branch out, but making those dates when you're in the car and you're grinding for it, I feel like that's when it really begins to test your mettle. And have you guys had those experiences yet where everything can go wrong when you're taking a booking and stranded on the side of the road because you had a blowout or something like that? Vince, have you had any of those crazy situations yet?
Not yet. Knock on wood. That is quite an experience, and I'm sure it's inevitable. But no, I haven't had anything like wrong go on the road yet. No, the grind is real. The car rides are still fun. I haven't done any like crazy long trips. Like Cold World will do some crazy trips where like 15, 17-hour drives. I don't know how they do it. I haven't done anything like that yet. I need to here soon, but but as far as like anything bad happening, no.
It's like a rite of passage.
It is.
There was and you guys may or may not know these names, and if you don't know them, that's okay. But a talent by the name of Manimal and former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion Kevin Douglas literally used to drive from the Dallas-Fort Worth area all the way out to Los Angeles to take a booking for television, and then subsequently would drive all the way up north to do some bookings, and then make that commute all the way back. And they did that a couple of times a year because it was being on TV and getting that opportunity to have that FaceTime. And and I had the bonds that you forge on a road trip that's days long. I'm sure they're still, as far as I know, very, very close friends. But I could imagine that would wane on you for some time, like once a month or one time a year, sure, but like 3 or 4 times a year sounds crazy to me. And Dash, what do you think is going to be that next step for you? Now, obviously Texas is a big state and there's a lot of ground to cover, but where would you like to be next? Where do you see yourself going next?
Yeah, so Vince mentioned Cold World, Dylan Scott and Corey Steed. They have gone overseas to Japan. Certainly Japan is like, that's my big long term. I'd love to go to Japan. I'd love to go work with that style. I've always been a huge fan of the junior heavyweight style of wrestling. I'd love to work the Corey Ultimo Dragon, that generation of people. Mike Math, Shusha Ligers, that's on style. Thank God I love to get out in California, man. There's so many great opportunities there. Specifically just
And then, so Vince, like, what about you? What is the end road look like? What does the finish line look like? Not finish line. That's not the right word, because once you get there, doesn't mean you stop. What's the next milestone, I guess, would be for you?
I just want to get out there more. Like, I feel like I'm doing pretty well here in Texas, but I want to go all over the states. And yeah, even like Dash said, I would love to do a tour in Japan, do some shows in Mexico. There's even Canada, like wherever I can go. I just want to wrestle. I want to be at as many shows as possible. I just get a chance to work with WWE recently. I would like to do that some more. Not like as a wrestler, like I was extra talent, but that was quite a surreal experience. I would love to do that more with them, AEW, TNA. Yeah, I just want to keep doing more of what I'm doing. So yeah, just keep it on. I don't really have an end goal. Yeah, I'm just trying to get out there. Like, that's what the rest of this year looks like, and next year is just try to get my name out there, build a brand, and try to be that big indie guy, maybe like a Richard Holiday one day, or Matt Cardona before he got signed again.
Yeah,
you know, that established indie name.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are 100% what everyone should be trying to do, because you know when people talk about Richard Holiday or Ben Bishop, or even to a lesser extent Alexander Hammerstone, these guys are on the cusp of getting signed somewhere, and if they don't, they're still getting booked every single weekend, sometimes 3 or 4 times in a week. And they're literally making a living at doing this, where and I'm not trying to cast any like bad feelings or anything, but that is their 9-to-5 job. They literally all the money they're making is doing in pro wrestling. And I think that is incredible when someone can say that, but also very admirable, because obviously there's some dedication to the craft. And you said something, and I'm a business owner myself, and not just the podcast. I actually have a real business in real life. But I always like to try to bring that into the aspect of pro wrestling, because at the end of the day, it is a business. It's literally the professional part of wrestling it's the business side of it. And having a brand is so important, because it's what distinguishes you from everybody else out there. And whether it be, champagne as your nickname, or as a catchphrase, or the style of the green that you wear and your tights, like, it really kind of becomes who you are as a talent. And I guess because I'm new to you guys, I'm not super familiar. What is your brand, and how do you represent that brand as a tag team? And I'll ask you first, Vince, and then Dash, I want to hear what your thoughts are too.
Well, individually, I'm kind of a fun bartending character. I'll sometimes, throw Jello shots to the audience. It's just Jello. I'll pour drinks. Sure, it depends on the venue. But yeah, no, I'm the really fun party guy until I, step in the ring. Then it's all business there. Kind of become more of a bouncer then. But then as a tag team, though, I feel like, I guess we haven't even really talked about this, Dash, exactly what like our tag team brand would be. I almost vision us as like degenerate fun, though. Like, you think that would work?
Yeah. Just a couple degenerates. Like, we're outcasts, fit in with the societal norms, man. We're just having fun, and we're doing it our way. We march to the beat of our own drum.
Exactly.
Well,
but yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Oh no, I was going to say, we need to have that conversation, exactly what that brand is. But I kind of think that's how I view us.
Because and of course you guys have your wrestling careers, and this is your second time teaming up, I believe, at Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence. But if you guys are going to be a tag team going forward, it's good to have that brand identity. And I'm not saying you necessarily have to have matching trunks or whatever, but being able to brand yourselves, it really helps you step out from everyone else, where like especially in California, we have a lot of guys that just work together, and it's like, okay, I mean, it's a good tag team and it's interesting, but as a brand, I don't really see your vision. I don't see what you guys are planning to do. And then you see an established tag team that have wrestled all over the world, and it's like, I get it. I see what the gimmick is. I know what you guys are. I understand. So, just unsolicited advice. Maybe if the tag team is something that you continue to do after, May 23rd, and you guys are literally wrestling for the tag title. So hopefully it is something that you do after May 23rd. I can't encourage you enough to come up with a brand, because the name Whiskey Throttle is Chef's Kiss. I feel like that's a great name. Dash, how did that name come up?
So I don't take as we do a little musical chairs routine here, and we
kind of had internet connection on my end there. But we're good now.
So this is like to jokingly say, I mean, it's kind of a joke. It's certainly not a shot at anybody, but I do like to refer to us as the fastest rising team on the scene, because it goes deeper than us just simply being a tag team. Obviously, when you start out and you're still trying to find your footing and find your identity, you're going to get paired with a lot of different people just to see what works. You're going to wrestle gauntlet matches, singles matches, battle royales, tag matches, and certainly I've wrestled so many multi-man matches. So I've gotten used to being in that environment of like chaos and all over the place, bodies flying at me. Sometimes I'm the body getting thrown at people. And me and Vince, I actually made my debut in a battle royale, and Vince was in the ring. And we had a fun interaction with each other. And I think it was just immediately kind of an unspoken agreement that, hey, you're fun, you're a cool guy, I'm a colorful, fun guy. We're not gonna try to kill each other. Like, we're cool. I think of the Avengers when Black Widow, or it was Civil War when Black Widow and Hawkeye are fighting, and they're like, we're still friends, right? It depends on how hard. That's me and Vince's relationship in a nutshell. It's just like, sometimes he throws me at people as if I'm the weapon. We've only had a couple of matches, but you know what? It's getting a reaction, and people seem to really enjoy it. I would compare our dynamic to like an Enzo and a Big Cass kind of situation. I'm very energetic and loud and boisterous, and he's a little more wise and a little more cool-headed in the background, but he's also got all that intimidation behind it. So I know that he's got my back, and I can kind of just talk and yap and annoy the hell out of people because I've got this, big bad bartender
ready to bounce. So
the tag team attire, that is in the works for sure. We have big plans. Like, we're looking at this championship match as not just another match. For us, this is a rebirth, so to speak. We have our work as individuals, but as a tag team, I want people to see the tag team wrestling in the Metroplex. It's really good. We have one of the most in-depth tag team divisions at our academy at DFW All Pro, and we're going to be making our debut as a tag team for DFW All Pro this coming Friday. We're going to be wrestling some really good that we've trained with, but it's an opportunity for us to kind of leave a lasting impression on our hometown crowd, so to speak, because we've gone away from the academy and we formed this tag team outside. So we kind of are doing it by the seat of our pants, but I think it's already taking off. We're already getting a lot of like good feedback from pretty respected names in this business.
I mean, it's pretty exciting when you think about it, because again, kind of coming back home to show your fans from where you got your start, like, hey, we've got this tag team, Whiskey Throttle. So Vince, this Friday night, you guys are going to team again at home, but then you guys have the big match on May 23rd, and you're taking on the Wave. And I, first of all, I apologize. I'm not super familiar with the Wave. I'm learning about you guys today, and I'm happy to do so. But tell me about the Wave. What do you know about these guys, and what can they expect from you? I mean, don't give away your game plan, obviously, but you're going to be in the ring with Maui Mike and I believe his name was Reggie Lincoln. Tell me about this tag team. What can we expect as fans of the Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence, and what are you expecting in the ring with them?
I imagine it's going to be a hard fight. There's some big dudes,
Real big.
but I think we'll come up on top. And like Dash said, I'll use him as a weapon if need be. I'll throw him as a lawn dart at them. Maybe I'll just hurl him in with an X-Plex. He'll hit him with a cutter or a stunner. But yeah, I've seen Maui Mike many times at League of Lions. I like how he wrestles. But I think we're a little bit better. Just tooting my own horn, so to say.
And Dash, what do you know about these two guys?
Well, I mean, for people that aren't familiar with them, it's pretty easy to speak that we're the superior tag team. I mean, we're sorry, we're hungrier, man. And we're taking this seriously. But no, we can go back and forth on social media as much as we want. We've said a lot about each other. At the end of the day, they're going to bring this test really, really hard. Kind of their thing. They are a couple of powerhouses. They remind me of some of the Hosses from All Japan from back in the day. But they're going to put a type of pressure on us that we've never experienced before. Maui Mike, nice guy. I can't really speak about his partner because I haven't personally met him, but I've seen Mike. I've seen him at League of Lions, and these guys they're legit. They're the Central Texas Wrestling Tag Team Champions currently, and they know what it feels like to be a champion. They know what it feels like to have been there. I don't think they've ever.
Your mic keeps cutting out on you, so I'm kind of reading your lips, but I don't think that anyone watching is hearing what you're saying.
I think it's fluctuating. I think.
We're gonna move on.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a good matchup too. And I know DK, he tried to book some very interesting matches for this event. Of course, I feel like it's pretty interesting that you guys they're crowning several champions that night. They'll be crowning the tag team champions. It'll be down to you guys in the wave. Also, there's going to be the matches for the women's championship with Victoria Mosh and Hilda La Muñeca. They'll be wrestling for the vacant women's championship. And then, the main event, King Sims and Diamond in the Rough, Devontae James. I mean, those are big guys right there. And
they are.
I feel like, Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence is giving you a very diverse card where you're seeing women's wrestling, you're seeing some bruisers in there. You got a good tag team match, and then there's even that open weight match that's featuring. I have the graphic here on the screen. I should have pulled up all these graphics.
Junior heavy championship match or light heavyweight championship?
Oh yeah, I missed that one too. But Brandon Skies versus Justin James, and then yes, the junior heavyweight championship match, Prince Alexander versus John Doe. So, I mean, Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence is certainly going to set up several new champions in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Metroplex area, as it's commonly referred to. See, look at me, I can be cool. I can call it the Metroplex. So it's going to be a very exciting night on the 23rd. Tickets are available at the Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence website, which is I'll put the link to that in the video description. But we're starting to get up against the time, and I want you guys to certainly plug your social medias, plug your upcoming events, both as a tag team and individuals. We'll go with you first, Dash, and I'm gonna give you a couple tries, because if you cut out, I'm gonna make you say it again.
I'm not really sure what's. It's kind of every time I think it's okay, it gets weird again.
You're good right now.
Yeah, we've got a lot of tag team stuff coming up. I mean, we've got another tag team match scheduled for Wrestle Rave. We're going to be taking on tag team by the name of Trap City. A couple of guys that were trained at Sir Mo's Bumps and Bruises Academy. We just came off of a huge win against Leslie Lorenzo and Rico, and Leslie was trained by Barrett Brown. We're going to be doing stuff with DFW All Pro. VIP Wrestling is coming up. That's going to be huge. That's another show that comes out of our area. So you can get tickets for that at ProWrestlingDallas.com. And you'll be able to see us on some upcoming shows throughout the rest of 2026 for sure. And if you want to find out more information about like stuff I'm doing, you can pretty much just find me everywhere by typing in _Official, _Official, all one word. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
And now, Vince, plug it away, sir.
Like he said, we have a show on the May 30th at this wrestling rave thing, where we're going to be tag teaming, and we plan on getting more dates booked as soon as possible. This Friday at DFW All Pro, the Aftermath is what it's called. We'll be out there. And if you want to see me on socials, Vince Crane on Facebook, and then Vince Champagne Crane on TikTok and Instagram. I'm pretty good about keeping where you can find me up on those particular pages.
Cool. Well, I really appreciate your guys' time. This was fun. I've never done the tag team interview before, so this can now officially check it off the list. But it was a pleasure having you guys on. Of course, not only do I wish you the best of luck in all of the endeavors, but especially on the 23rd. Maybe I might be out there. I'm going to see if I can swing it. But if not, I still wish you guys the best of luck at the event, and wish the best of luck for the Iconic Heroes of Wrestling Excellence. Thank you to DKM for setting up this interview for us. And until next time, we'll see you guys at the matches.
So much.
Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at the Alliance blog. And until next time, we are...